Hi guys, good morning. It's KCFX. Yesterday I spoke about making a video for gold and silver. Okay, how some setups can be made inside structure. Okay, so today this video is all about gold. Okay, I'm going to be talking about gold and how we can take an entry, and also working in a structure, also finding a structure inside a structure. Okay, there's a way we can find entries inside a valid setup. Okay, a structure which we took a setup from. Okay, we can also look for an entry inside. Okay, so I'm going to explain that on the chart so that we can really get the full picture of it. Okay, so I'm going to go into it now, so stay with me so we can learn together. Okay, alright, so now this is gold. Okay, and gold, if you remember, this is a 4 hours time frame. Remember, we had a move towards the upside. We have lower highs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, as of last week, we saw price coming to the golden zone, which we took an entry towards the downside. Okay, towards the side. That's where we took our TP. We won this trade last week. Okay, now that's not the point of this video. I'm just trying to start from somewhere so we can understand where I'm going to. Okay, so now I want to explain to us what happened. Okay, so now this is where our entry was. This is our entry. This is where we took our TP, this level where you have the blue or purple line, which you see are moving. That's where we stopped in our entry as of last week. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to us how we first took this entry. Okay, I think that's best. I think it's the best thing to do, to explain how we took an entry and how we can also take entries again. Okay, inside this whole level. Okay, so I'm going to start, okay, from 30 minutes time frame. Okay, so we can know what really happened inside the golden zone. Okay, this area. Okay, so I'm going to go towards the 30 minutes time frame. I think that's how it's to be done. Okay, so it's clearly seen that let's zoom in so we see clearly. Alright, so now it's clear here that we saw price give us a red candle and a green candle. Okay, and also another green candle, which is also fine. We saw a red candle closing inside the golden zone, which we want to see, and that alone gives us our push towards the downside, which we took. Okay, which we took from here. Our entry was supposed to start from here towards the downside. Okay, so our TP1 was around this level, which we stopped. Okay, but by right we wanted to see price come down further towards the end of our target, which is supposed to be at this level. This was our main target, but it's yet to be reached. Okay, yeah, sorry, and market is slow at the moment, but all the same we want to see price come towards this level, except something happens again in the market. Remember, we don't know how the market works. Okay, we don't know how the market works, so we just need to let price do its thing. Okay, so now back to it. Okay, so our initial target is this level, so we want to see price come towards this level, but for first we saw this level taken out. Okay, so now what do we need to see, since now we are out of this trade? Okay, what do we want to see now for us to find a way to take an entry inside this trade again towards the downside? Now I'm going to explain that real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to go back towards the 4 hours time frame so we can explain what we need to be seeing. Alright, I'll go to the 4 hours time frame, which is here, 4 hours. Okay, now this is the 4 hours time frame, so I'm going to explain to us what we're supposed to be looking at before we can start looking to take another entry towards the downside. Alright, as the book says, okay, we need to see price now come towards the upside here, cross the previous lower high, which is the lower high 4, and give us a new lower high, which should now be lower high 5. That's a high in the downtrend market. Okay, after we find our lower high 5, okay, we need to see price come into the golden zone again. Then after criteria has been checked perfectly, we take an entry towards the downside. Okay, towards our initial downside TP. Okay, but we are not going to be looking for that now, which of course is not going to be bad if it happens. Okay, but what we want to be looking at right now is to see price give us a high, okay, around this level. We're looking for a high around this level. Okay, so that I'm going to explain to us in a moment. Okay, so stay with me. Okay, so I'm going to explain how we can make that happen. Okay, so now before I do that, I need to take out this Fibonacci retracement tool so that the chart can be clear. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so on the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so on the 4 hours time frame, now we want to find a high. Okay, you want to see a high, so we want to see a high. Okay, and remember, if you see a lower high, what do we want to see after which? We need to see price come towards the downside into the golden zone, right? Then our criteria follow up, and we take an entry to the downside. So now on this whole structure, now we want to see a high here. Okay, now how do we find a high? First, before you find a high, we need to have a low, right? Because the Fibonacci retracement tool needs to be joined with a high and a low before you can start looking for any levels. Okay, so now we already have a high here, which is a number 4. Okay, and now I want to see a low. And now our low from this level is this low that you have here. This is the low that you have here. Okay, so we want to see I want to create a low here, so we're going to call this low. Okay, that's our low. Alright, so the low is going to be at this level where our TP ended, TP1. Okay, so now how do we identify a lower high or a high around this level? We need to draw a Fibonacci retracement tool, okay, towards because it's a downtrend market. Okay, we're going to be taking from a high, okay, towards the low, okay, which is at this end here. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so now you can see clearly that our high should be at this level. Our high should be at this level, 0.3828. This is what we want to see. We want to see our high at this line here. Okay, that is our high. That's where we find our high. And anytime we find a high, then we are now sure that okay, we have a low and we have a high. And remember, anytime you have a lower high in the downtrend market, what do you want to see if you're aiming on taking an entry towards the downside? Okay, you need to see price come towards the golden zone. Okay, give us our criteria for a downtrend move, then we take a sell, right? So that's what we're supposed to be seeing right now. So now I'm going to show us how that is supposed to happen. Okay, so now we're going to do that really quick. Okay, so now we know this is our high, so we're going to put this line here and say this level is our high. Okay, so now we're going to take our Fibonacci retracement tool so that because now we already know where high is. Okay, so we delete this Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, now we can see clearly that this is our high where you have the purple dotted line. Okay, that's our high. Now if you see clearly, you can see price, okay, came up towards this level and price didn't get to that dotted purple line, and price came towards the downside, which we don't want. That we want to make sure price, okay, gets towards our high, which is this level. And you can see clearly price went up, came down, and price finally hit our high. Now it has given us a lower high. We can now say here is now our lower high, okay, because the price has touched that line. Okay, so now what do we do? Now we will need to draw a Fibonacci retracement tool, because you know the Fibonacci retracement tool shows us levels, okay, either to find our lower highs or also to show us a place where our golden zone is supposed to be. Okay, these are the things the Fibonacci retracement tool do. Okay, it shows us our lower high where we can see our highs, and also our higher lows in a buy market. Okay, and also with the Fibonacci retracement tool, it also shows us where our golden zone is supposed to be. Okay, so that's it. All right, so now we have our lower high here. Okay, now how do we see or know the level of the golden zone? We need to draw a Fibonacci retracement tool again. Okay, now from the lower high, because of course it's a downward trend, and a downward trend we are going to be drawing our Fibonacci retracement tool from the high to the low. So now from the high we click here, okay, down to the lower low, okay, which is this level. Okay, and now clearly you can now see price is coming into the 0.618 area and 0.5, which suggests this area is going to be our golden zone. So now we're going to put in our golden zone at this level. Okay, so inside this level, this area, that's where we'll be calling our golden zone. So what are we expecting the market to do right now? We want to see price now coming to the golden zone, okay, which I'm going to be showing right now. We see price coming to the golden zone, give us a criteria, okay. Then what happens? We continue our shoot towards the downside, okay. So what we want to see now is price pushing towards the downside, okay. All right, that's what we are looking for, okay. So this is what we want to see, okay guys. This is what we want to see. We want to see price do this, then we start looking to take our entry towards the downside. So gold is still very much first in line, or say second or third in line for this week. So we have USD already ready for us to take an entry. We have GBP USD going to the golden zone, just as we have for gold, okay. So gold and GBP USD or GU is very much on their way to where we can start looking to take our entries, okay. But USD EU, we're taking that entry as soon as early as Monday morning, okay. Our VIP, of course, you know how we roll, okay. I take shots for you, and I make sure you're making money while you rest, okay. You know how we do, yeah. Okay, so that's it guys. That's what I want to explain on this video. It's a short video, and I'm going to be signing off here, and that's what I want us to understand. And I'm sure with this video, I'm sure we understand how I made us see a clear view, okay, on how we can take an entry inside a structure like this, okay. Instead of waiting for all the whole long move, we can just find our entries inside this area like this, okay. I want us to go back to the video from the start, watch it again, and also see how I came up with this, okay. Alright guys, so it's time to close on this video. See you guys around. Enjoy your weekend. Happy new week. Alright guys, that's that for this video. See you guys around. Don't forget to subscribe as well. KCFX out. Have a nice day.